Hey agents, so it's been about a month since Massive released Title Update 15 for the Division 2, our first big update in almost 2 years. It's great to see the player base basically double since the new content, but I'm still seeing a lot of players confused by the Proficiency and Expertise system. Admittedly, it's not the most straightforward thing in the world, so in this video, I'm going to go over all the basics on how it works so you too can take advantage of all the benefits that come with it. So if you're having difficulty understanding exactly how this new system works, keep watching, and by the end, you should be able to understand it more clearly. So first off, the place where all of the magic happens is right over here, the same table where you can recalibrate and optimize your gear. Open it up and you'll see Expertise on the far left. Click on that and immediately you're bombarded with a ton of buttons but no explanations on what they're for. So what does this all mean? On the top left, you see Expertise level. That's basically the max power level that you've reached, but we're not going to talk about that until a little bit later. Below that, you see Proficient and a number out of 344. Mine says 73, which means 73 of my gear sets, brand sets, weapons, specialization weapons, named items, skills, and or exotics have been leveled up to Proficient. What the hell does that mean? Well, let's take a look inside ARs. I have 5 of 41 assault rifles at Proficient. Scrolling through, you can see on the right side each assault rifle's proficiency rank. There are a total of 10 ranks, and once you reach rank 10 proficiency, that item is now proficient. So here we have a proficient AR. You can see a star underneath it, which indicates it is proficient and you no longer need to level it up. Does this mean it's more powerful than my other weapons? Not necessarily, as once an item has become proficient, now you need to donate materials to power it up. Looking on the right, you can see the upgrade bonus is blank. We need to click on the CTAR to open it up and see the individual CTARs that I have on my character. Items in your stash or on other characters will not show up here. So I have one CTAR on this character, and looking at the bottom right, we see the grade level is blank. So this means that this particular gun has no expertise, so no bonuses. But just below that, we see 3 materials: steel, titanium, and receiver components. If I were to donate the listed amount of each, this CTAR, and only this CTAR, would get 1 level of expertise. So what does that mean? Well, all weapons gain 1% weapon damage per level of expertise, which isn't bad actually. I don't use the CTAR that much, so I'm not going to level it up just yet. I'll save my resources for the items I use the most. So let's go find one of those items. Okay, so here we have the Police M4. Recently my AR of choice. So on this character, I have 3 Police M4s. They are all proficient because proficiency is shared on all items, not including the named items. So for the M4, that would be the Pyromaniac, which I never use and probably never will use, so it's currently at proficiency 0. So remember that named items have their own unique proficiency level. Back to the M4, you can see a proficiency star below 2 of my M4s and a 7 below the 3rd. That 7 means I have leveled this particular M4's expertise to 7, meaning it has an additional 7% weapon damage. Now you may have also noticed that the materials required to level this M4 is different from my other ones. The higher the expertise your item is, the more costly it becomes to level it up. And eventually, it will start costing exotic parts. So choose wisely when leveling up an item. Make sure it's something you use often, and also make sure it's the right weapon. I don't want to level up the M4 with Ranger because I don't use it as much. So yep, I want to level up this item. But the upgrade button is grayed out. And when I click on it, it says insufficient expertise level. That means that this particular item has been maxed out for my current expertise level. They are both at 7. So if I want to level this gun up again, I need to grind out more expertise levels. And we'll get to that momentarily. For now, let's find something we can level up. So I love the Bighorn, and it's only expertise level 1, so I can definitely level it up, which I'll do right now. So I've donated the materials in exchange for an additional 1% weapon damage on my Bighorn. In order to upgrade it again, I'll need to farm some steel. So for now, it'll have to stay at expertise 2. Let's take a look at brand sets and gear sets now. Jumping into Seska, I have my favorite spotter backpack. I've already leveled this up to max expertise, so I won't be able to upgrade it just yet. We see on the right that for each level we get 1% armor. That doesn't sound so bad, but it's actually just 1% of the base armor for that piece. So if we take a look over here, chest pieces have a base of 158k armor, and each gear piece is different. Masks are 80k, holsters are 112k, etc. So if you decide to upgrade your gear pieces, go with those that have the highest base armor, like the chest piece, the backpack, and the holster. That being said, leveling up your gear is very inefficient. If you upgrade all 6 pieces to expertise 20, you'll get a total of 130k bonus armor. That is wild, considering the amount of resources it costs. And it doesn't matter if the gear has a red, blue, or yellow core. They all get 1% armor per level. And both gear sets and brand sets get the same amount. So let's go down to system corruption. I believe my backpack is at level 6. So just to give you an idea of materials it costs to upgrade gear, and even though I said it's inefficient to upgrade gear, if you have maxed out materials, it certainly doesn't hurt to upgrade certain pieces you often use. Just don't expect much of a power boost from it. Now let's take a look at skills. I'm not going to go over every skill because they all have their own unique upgrade bonuses. But let's check out a couple that I have proficient, starting with the Jammer Pulse. Again, it has different material costs from gear and weapons, and for the Jammer Pulse you get 1% radius per level, which I really like. So let's level it up. Taking a look at the Scanner Pulse, we get 1% duration, which would mean that targets stay pulsed for longer. Again, this seems like a useful bonus. Let's jump over to the Decoy. You get 1% threat. That could be really good in PvE, but useless in PvP. So before you upgrade your skills, first take a look at what the upgrade will actually give you and ask yourself if it will actually help you in your build. Some give great bonuses and others are pretty meh. Another good thing about skills is that you only need to upgrade one. So once your skill is upgraded, all your builds that use that one skill get the bonuses, unlike the gear and the weapons where you have to upgrade each individual item. Finally, let's go over exactly what expertise is. So back at the main screen, we see our expertise level, and then in smaller numbers, we see a number out of 100 or 200. This is your counter for getting to the next expertise level. To increase that number, you need to increase the proficiency level of your gear. Each proficiency level will give you 1 point towards leveling up your expertise. So leveling up a piece from 0 to proficient will give you 10 points. So how do we increase our proficiency levels? Well, there are a few ways we can do this. First, you can donate materials. So choose whatever you want to level up. On Xbox, press LT. You'll get a list of materials you can donate. Printer filament is definitely the most efficient material to donate, as it only costs 30 per donation. Keep in mind, each donation does not give you a proficiency level. This method does cost a lot of materials, but if you've got anything maxed out, you might as well swing by and level something up. Another option is donating gear pieces. You can go into each category and donate them individually, which would be a total hassle, but thankfully there is a donate all junk function. So I just did a run of countdown and marked all my gear as junk. I'll donate it all, and we can see my level jump by 13, meaning I gained 13 proficiency levels from the junk that I donated. This is a good method if you just want to level up anything after a farming session. Your third option is just to equip the gear and play the game. You get some proficiency XP from playing PvE while your gear is equipped. But since they reduced the amount of XP you gain from killing enemies, this isn't so reliable anymore. So that's the lowdown on expertise. If you feel like I missed something, or if you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments section below. I hope this video was helpful in simplifying expertise. It is a pretty cool idea. Unfortunately, it has been causing a lot of problems in the game since being introduced. But I have faith the devs will clean it up and we can keep leveling up our gear as new content continues to trickle in. That's all from me. Until the next video, happy grinding, agents.
Cooling system pressure limits exceeded. Current system stabilize the pressure.
Oh, that worked-ish. Now that the pressure is stabilized,